solid tour going on so far. How's everything been on the road for you guys?
It's been very smooth. Usually you run into some kinks, but no, it's been actually really awesome, except for one show in Memphis. It was completely disastrous.
And that was due to?
Well, they don't take care of their shit. Can I say that?
You absolutely can say that.
They don't take care of their stuff, so they had like just pounds of corroded dust, and the fans and the amps and everything just didn't work, so the microphones went out. So if there's a technical difficulty, you don't want the mics to go out, because then you can't tell anybody what's wrong. Right. And everybody's still like, we can't hear you. I'm like, I know. But yeah, that was a disaster. There's really nothing I could say. It was just, we finished the set, cut a few songs, but it was bad news.
Like we said, it makes it a lot harder to do a show without any microphones.
It does, it really does. You know, I didn't think, I felt way more important. Everybody knows now.
Yeah. Everybody knows how important it is.
Yeah, you gotta have a mic.
So are you more comfortable now being a quote-unquote new member of Evans Blue now that you've kind of been through the whole process?
Yeah. I mean, this is my second record.
Right.
I've been in the band longer than the first guy's been in the record, and I don't know, I think it's a completely different thing. You know, and that's what everybody's said since day one, is whether they're saying good things or bad things, it's not the same. You know, and to me, that's exactly what I say. It's not the same. You're right. I mean, I'm not going to go in there and try to replicate something that's been done. You'll hate me even more. I would rather be myself. I'm not new to the game either.
Right.
So I'd rather be myself, write my record, and if you don't like it, that's okay.
Do you think it makes it harder being, especially the front man, walking in and kind of, you know, at the beginning it's almost kind of like filling somebody else's shoes or singing their songs? Was there any like apprehension when you first started, being like, holy shit, I have to kind of step in and take over for this guy?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, I think at the very beginning when it was happening, I took it as I really didn't have much to lose. To me, it was I wanted to play music, and this was an opportunity to get in front of people. And yeah, did I want to sing other people's stuff? No, that's not what I'm here for, really. It's just, I think it's just part of the process to, people still want to hear those songs, and we've cut it out to just a few songs a show, maybe less. You know, and it's not, to me, it's a cover song. I'm playing with the band, but I'm covering it. So I try to do as good as I can with those songs. But it's definitely a different scenario at the beginning. You really don't want to face that door. You don't even want to open it, because you know there's going to be a lot of people with a magnifying glass on you, not liking you before they know you. I mean, I totally understand it 100%. Right. Because if my favorite band got a new singer, I'd be like, well, it's not the same. But it isn't going to be the same, you know. So what do? You get a new band name and then they're going to be okay with you? No, they're not. It's going to be the same. So basically just do what you do,
right?
And the people will be there, and some people won't be there. But if I wasn't being myself, then I wouldn't be happy anyway. So
how do you? I know you guys have recently gone through some changes, making the new album and stuff. How does that kind of affect the creativity when you're implementing new members? You know, as you're going along, does it, you know, as you're trying to write songs on the road or whatever, implementing new guys is kind of like throws a whole new personality or whatever into the mix.
It does, you know, but the way we write, and since I've been in the group, the last two records, since we're all spread out, it's pretty much been Vlad and Parker, both guitar players, will shoot me riffs, just tracks, just simple things, you know, demos, and then I'll get them at home. I'll take them to Pro Tools and I'll write melodies and lyrics to them and send them back. And then if we really find something in one of the songs, which we actually use more than we, you know, don't by far. Right. So it's actually really painless. It's been easy. But I mean, as far as the drummer situation, changing drummers this record, I think it turned out to be an awesome thing. We made our favorite record by far, and having Dusty live on the drums, he's been incredible. He's a pro, dude. Tonight you'll see he's got his act together, you know.
Absolutely.
But Jason Pierce and Mike McClure were on the album, on the album, and they're pro too. So it was smooth. I mean, it's a process because you got to record the drums several times. It seems like, and it gets kind of like repetitive, and you know, okay, come on, we got to get this. But in the long run, it's what's necessary, and we were happy with it.
So listening to the new record, how is everything kind of being received as you guys are road testing it? You guys put it out. You guys are touring the new album.
Absolutely.
How's everything being received so far in the live shows?
It's been awesome, and actually what we've been doing is playing the newest record front to back.
Nice.
We come every show front to back, and then we'll come back out and we'll play a bunch of old songs too. So it's a long set, but we definitely wanted to expose the new material as much as possible, and that's always risky because people want to hear their favorites. But surprisingly, there's always a good amount of people singing the record with you front to back. So it's out there, and they're aware of it, and it makes our set more interesting because we have more material.
So on the new record, there's kind of a different, I don't want to say a new sound, but there's an expanded sound. You guys have kind of added a bunch of elements that weren't previously there. What is that, you know, you stepping in? Is it as the band kind of conglomeration, new ideas coming in because of the new material?
Yeah, I think it's just attributed to growth as a whole, because, you know, the last record, I was brand new and I was writing lyrics and melodies to these songs that I had never even met the guys yet. You know, it was still long distance, but this time around, you know, it's been almost 4 years. We know each other well. I think the direction that we went wasn't necessarily on purpose. I think it was just everybody's just on the same page. We wanted to make sure that we made an honest record, not something that's not something that's just catchy, something that we would be proud of forever, because, I mean, I've written a ton of songs, and there's a ton of songs I would never play live, you know what I mean? Because it's just, you grow, you know? So now I'm very conscious of that, and I think, well, I want to write honest material. I want to talk from the heart, whether it's experiences, people can relate to reality, you know, not to just, I mean, not to say that hooky songs aren't great and catchy, but I mean, if I'm going to sing them every night for years, I want to make sure that they'll still believe me in 5 years.
Right. Yeah. What's your favorite song on the new album? To both perform, do you have one that you like to perform more that is not, you know, one that you like to perform on the new album, you know, live? I say Halo is a really cool song live, because we've had some exposure with that song, and it gets people going. The crowd jumps, you know, and it's intense, but it's still dark and has its moments where it's down, quiet. But Thank You would probably be one of my favorites live. Just the way that song hits, and like I said, the dynamics on that one are just scream, calm, long notes, cool bridge, builds. It's fun live. Absolutely. Yeah. So kind of looking at what you guys are doing to promote yourselves, you guys are using a lot of social media, you know, and if any band knows about, you know, the use of the internet and connecting via finding new band members
absolutely.
Via the internet, how do you guys use social media, Twitter, Facebook, to connect with your fans?
Well, we use the hell out of it, really, because it's instantaneous now. I mean, that's just the world we live in. Everybody has to be at arm's reach, you know. And I think that the fans expect that from you now. I mean, they don't want you sitting on your tour bus all night and then you come out and then they just see you. I mean, back in the day, that's just how it was. You know, they're unreachable sometimes, but I think today they expect you to be there. They want you to be friends with them, and you know, we do too. Realistically, we're in the crowd before the show, talking, hanging out. Obviously, we're in my hometown now. I'm going to be out there talking to everybody, but you know, the greatest thing about it to me, in the end of when it's all over, you know, I've made friends in a lot of different cities, and that's what I try to do, so that when I come back to those towns in years, maybe, you know, that I'll have friends everywhere I went that I stayed in touch with. So, you know, it's always nice to know somebody.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So, you know, I know you guys are kind of doing the independent thing, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays in today's music industry, do you think a record label is necessary for a band to have success in the mainstream world?
No, I don't think it's necessary at all. I don't think there's really rules to it. I think there's pros and cons, but it's hard to really say all the pros in this day and age with a major. I think every deal could be different, though. You know, if you get a major deal and it's a good deal for you, then it's good. You know, you have money behind you and you have a good product. It's great. You need money. I mean, that's really what separates independent. But there's so many pros to be independent. You have your control. You can drop singles when you want to. You know, no label's going to tell you this record's done, get back in there. And you're like, well, no, I think we have another one here. You know, let's get this going. But there's a lot of ways to see it, man. Independent is great. I love it. I wish that, you know, with radio, it's really hard too to get that support. A lot of times, sometimes it's not. It just depends on the market. But labels can spend some money on you and get you exposed. But they also can take a lot of your money too. And you have to kind of sacrifice some of your freedom with the things, what you can do with your own music. Yeah. But like I said, I mean, if you run into a great situation, I mean, I've heard of many deals where the band got a great deal and A&R guy never messed with them. They released records, they sent them in, never had to trash anything, you know. And then I've heard situations where people have just canned albums and had to start over, and it's just different. I think every scenario is different. But independent, I think for sure, the ground, the level, we've leveled the playing field. I think nowadays, where anybody has an opportunity. If they do it right, I think they do. What do you define as success in the music industry? Success in the music industry. I think it'd have to be a personal goals maybe accomplished. I think if you just keep your feet grounded and you start thinking, where have I come to? You know, how far have I come? Did I really see this happening and taking place? Have I gone further than that? To me, my success is I've had a lot of goals and I always want to accomplish everything, and it may not have happened on schedule, but they happen. You know, like as of right now, if this was to not happen or it was to be done, I would never be feeling like you know, it was a failure or we failed. You know, we're not the A-list band out there right now, but I mean, we have a lot of passionate followers. We have tons of fans, and we had a great time. I always imagined it, but I never knew what it would be like to actually keep reaching your goals and finally get to a level where you could be okay if it was done, you know?
Right.
You don't want it to ever. But,
sure. No
but
doubt.
you could be like, okay, cool, we got to this point. I have videos, show my kids down the road. I have, you know, just stuff like that, you know?
Sure.
It's a cool life.
And you've seen both sides of it. I mean, you've come from where you've come from doing the local thing here in St. Louis for so long, and kind of now it's all ramped up and you've kind of arrived.
Well, yeah,
getting there.
Thank you. Yeah, you know? I mean, it's a constant push, right? I mean, if you don't stand back and take a look and open your eyes, you don't really realize it, but you have to. You have to. And like you said, I mean, I've been trying to do this for so many years that it'd be impossible for me to forget where I came from. Absolutely. You know, it's like, don't forget where you come from. It's like, I couldn't if I wanted to, you know, but I don't want to. I love that. I understand a lot more because I had to go through it.
So what is your, what's your favorite part of an Evans Blue live show? What do you think?
Favorite Evans Blue? Well, I think it's just grown now to where every tour we go out on, we add something new. This time we have an incredible crew. Obviously we have a front of house guy that we didn't have before. We were missing that, and that's crucial. Right? You know, it's crucial. And then we have lights, and we have production. It's just taken our show to another level. And I think how smooth it runs, that's my favorite part. It's never been this smooth before. It's always stop, okay, let's figure out what's going on. Right. And that's just, to me, that's not pro. You know, so now we finally got it down, and except for like Memphis show.
Right.
Without the microphone. It's not our fault, man. But yeah, no, it's a lot smoother now.
So tell me a little bit about the your work with the Keeping Chase Foundation. I wanted to definitely wanted to include that. Tell me why that cause is so close to your heart.
Yeah, man. Well, Chase Franklin's my nephew. He passed away from brain cancer at 8 years old. So obviously, I have a very close family. So it's like a little brother to me. I mean, you call it whatever you want, but just being exposed to something like that really just changes your life. And so many people have gone through this or know somebody like this or whatever. So I know that it's, if you have been kind of exposed to it, it's huge to you and it's life-changing. And so for me, it was something just necessary. It's like, okay, are we gonna raise millions of dollars right now? No, we're not. Are we gonna make some money that we can contribute to a foundation, and actually, whether we're changing just a day for somebody, maybe, you know, making it, like I've said before, you know, we buy video consoles and video games for waiting rooms in hospitals, you know, because I know that that's a lot of time is spent in there. So any way you possibly can, I'd love to attach that with me forever, or the band forever, just so that it can grow and help people out, you know. And
it kind of means more coming from a band, you know. If a band is attached to a charity or a charitable organization, it kind of brings it up a little bit. It's not like a, you know, a politician or something like that. The band kind of makes it more real and more of a community thing. That's what it's about, right?
You know, once you get involved in something like that, you don't until you get involved with something like that, you don't realize how many really good people out there that have been kind of affected by it, but maybe not dramatically, but there's a lot of big hearts out there, man. I've realized that once we started doing all these things, I'd see these volunteers and these people that are doing everything for nothing except for, you know, feeling more pain. Surrounding yourself with that kind of environment is painful, but it's something that they feel necessary for themselves, which it's just amazing to me that there's people like that.
Where can people go to get more information on the charity?
KeepingChase.com, and we've teamed up with another foundation called Noah's Light, which is another boy, 8 years old, passed away from brain cancer, and they're doing some amazing things with finding out where the research money's going and who does the most research and really making changes, and they're doing awesome things too.
So, you know, you guys are kind of wrapping up the first leg of this tour, supporting this album. You guys are going to go out on a second leg of the tour.
Yeah.
What's beyond that for Evans Blue?
You know, just getting this album and shoving it down everybody's throat, man. I mean, really, to me, it's, especially being an independent band, if you don't get like tons of radio support, you need to be out there and you need to be exposed to people. And I've noticed a million times that when you're at home and your album's out, It's not doing a whole bunch for you, you know. But if you're in front of people every night and you're constantly on the road working, there's just more talk, more buzz, especially if you have a good product. So I think the goal is to just be out, you know.
And that's 100% necessary now for a band to, especially an independent, to be out making the touring money, to out making the merch money. That is vital to success and survival as a band now, isn't it?
Oh God, touring is so expensive, it's ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, if you want to, you know, continue growing, like production-wise or crew-wise, or, you know, just keep moving in the right direction and not fall stale to anything, it's really expensive, you know. You got to stay healthy, so you got to be comfortable in some aspect, whether it's getting sleep or not, and you've got to find a way to do it. But yeah, it's brutal, man, because it's so expensive, but it's necessary.
What is the best part and the worst part of being on the road?
Wow, you know, this time around, having the bus has been hard to say anything negative.
Right.
I think the best part is obviously I can sleep as much as I want. It's like a little home, dude, you know, so it's perfect for that. Every aspect. I mean, we can have, it's little things that matter. Like we can have our food, we have a bathroom, we have our drinks, it's just so many pros to having a bus and staying healthy. The cons would be, the only thing that would always be a con to me, no matter how you traveled or no matter when you're on the road or not, is you're always going to miss somebody or people, family or whatever. But if you're doing it for the right reasons, I think that everybody will understand, and you have the right people in your life to get it too.